Hello and welcome back. This is part 2 of Roll20 Presents Mouse Guard. Hi everybody, we have characters now.
Yay.
So we're going to start in the very, very early spring of 1150. So the winter has just passed. There's probably still some snow on the ground, but the sun is out enough to have melted away most of the winter, and the guard has begun sending patrols out into the world. And Gwendolyn, matriarch of the Mouse Guard, has come to you, Jasper, and told you that it's time to take Lorelei out into the territories. It's time for her to see what the world is really like out there, but to give her like a soft entrance, Gwendolyn's gonna give you a nice easy start, a nice easy place to begin. So
Starter zone.
what needs to be done? There's a glass blower who lives in Sandmason. She's like really loyal to the guard, and she has over the winter in her little mouse home has been crafting jars for the apiary in Lockhaven. Now, the deal to make the trade for these jars hasn't been ironed out yet, but Gwendolyn is sure that you and your patrol will be able to take care of it. So your mission then is to take a supply of honey, of last year's honey, to Lila and arrange a trade. So trade her the honey for the jars, get a good deal. And then bring them back. Bring the empty jars back to the apiary in Lockhaven so that we can use them. We can fill them with honey. So she's assigned you. You know, obviously you're taking your tender paw. You're taking your little Padawan mouse out there. But over the winter, there's been some grumbling, some disagreement. Everybody's all cooped up, and Walmond has been kind of a thorn in some people's sides. He's been getting under people's skin, and Gwendolyn thinks that you'd be a good influence. She wants you to light that fire that under Walmond. Get him going again, right? Like show him a good example of like what it means to be like a brave mouse of the guard. Try to help him get this pacifism nonsense out of his head. So Gwendolyn has assigned him to you as well. So the three of you are to take. You're going to take the honey. You're going to be accompanied by a Lockhaven merchant named Dougal. He's just a civilian, so keep an eye out for him. He doesn't know how to take care of himself out there. And the four of you can go out into the world. Go to Sandmason, do the deal, and come on back. So knowing what your job is, basically what your mission is for this session. If you look at the map, Lockhaven is right here in the middle, and Sandmason is
It's to the
down.
east,
Yeah,
just south
down
of the
here.
island or the lake thing.
Yep, yep, down here. Sandmason's right there. So now to finish your characters, you're gonna write a belief for your character, an overarching ethical or moral stance that your character has. I think for most of you, this should come like pretty easily based on just all the talking we've been doing so far. You're gonna write a goal for your character, and now this can be you want this to be a thing that you can accomplish like clearly, right? If you want, it can just be the goal. It can be like I intend to make the trade and come back to succeed in the mission. But it can also be like I'm going to teach my tenderpaw the value of teamwork, or I'm going to make sure no one gets hurt on this mission, or I'm going to crack some skulls. Those are all valid goals, things you want to do. And then your instinct is something that your character does, like in Burning Wheel, does like as a reaction without necessarily without thinking. And your belief is something that if you just use it to guide your character's play, you'll get points. We use Persona and Fate in the same way that we do in Burning Wheel. And did we lose Colin? Looks like we might have.
Yeah, Colin just dropped.
He just messaged me and said he blue screened.
Okay. Well, I'll just. Let's see. I'll take him out of the overlay for right now. It's just you and me, Jess. Because when Colin dropped, it pulled Andrew out of place.
Oh.
That's okay. It's fine. Sorry, Andrew. We can hear you. We just can't see you for now.
Great, I can keep stuff in my face.
Yeah, stuff your face.
Yes.
That's okay. It's a secret meeting between Gwendolyn and the patrol leader.
Yeah, very much so.
So,
Andrew,
yeah.
what was your name? Lorelai?
Lila. Oh, you're asking for Andrew's character?
Yeah.
Yeah, Lorelai.
I'm Lorelai B. Bottom.
Yes, Ms. B.
How could I
Bottom.
forget?
Yeah.
Okay. And Lila is the honey lady or the jar lady?
Lila is the jar lady, and
Okay.
Dougal is the merchant.
Cool.
Am I alive?
We can hear you.
Okay.
Hello?
Let's see if it's
My
all
PC
returned.
just blue screened. It's crazy.
Boom! Yes, the overlay's back. All right, everybody's back. Okay.
Rip.
Okay. So your belief. This can be something like they're way simpler than they are in Burning Wheel. It doesn't have to be like I believe this. I'm going to do this. It can just be like violence is wrong. That's a belief. Or hurting people never got anybody anywhere. Or sometimes you just got to spill some blood to get things done. Or money makes the world go round, right? Like these are all just things that help drive your character. You're going to want to demonstrate your beliefs as we play. Goals, I mean, those are easy. Those are just do a thing you want to do. And then your instinct is something that your character does without thinking. So, pick fights with people who seem arrogant. That's an instinct. Always squirrel away some of my food for an emergency. And these can help you by letting you automatically do stuff in the same way. And they can also get you in trouble. So feel free to talk about these, think about ones that you might like to do. And, let's sort them out. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one, Walmond.
Cool.
What you got?
Cool. Okay. Well, yeah. What do you guys think? So, Walmond, you've got your belief, right? Got that sorted out?
Yeah. Still working on the goal, but yeah.
Okay.
Can you explain goal again?
Yeah. So goal is just a goal that is an objective you could feasibly accomplish in the near future via the actions of your character. So a thing you could do. And as your, as like mentor to a tender paw, it might be related to that. It might just be directly related to the mission. Gwendolyn gave you some options, right? It could be like, change Wallman's mind about violence, or teach Lorelai a lesson about about independence, or just pick a thing that your character wants to do this session, basically.
I want to.
I'm trying to think of a really self-centered belief for my character. Because she's like a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Really know any better.
I mean, nobody knows better than me, or I'm sick of getting bossed around by these old farts. My first idea is often my best one.
Well, my instinct is definitely going to be to always provide my opinion, even when it isn't asked for.
Right. Yeah, never let my opinion go unvoiced. Awesome. So some examples from the characters in the game, I'll build a good name for the mouse guard, anticipate what the patrol leader needs, ensure none of my patrol mates come to harm on this mission. Yeah, stuff that your characters want to do or do without thinking. Yeah, I like that one a lot.
Um,
Deliver the mail, whether rain.
Or sleet, or lack of night.
Nice. So, Walmond, for your goal, why don't instead of young mice, why not like pick? Why not make that Lorelei specifically?
Sure.
Okay.
How do you spell that?
Loralai. Cool. Yeah, those are good. Jasper.
Jasper.
Nah, I like your goal, Jasper. Couple of old fogies like us.
Oh, funny daddies.
Oh my god, you're like the odd couple of mice.
Yeah. I just want to take him bowling or something, you know?
12 angry mice.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
I'm still working on my instinct.
Yeah,
I'm
that's okay.
sorry.
So what are everyone's beliefs, goals, and such so far?
Wallman, you have all yours. Why don't you
Yeah.
tell us yours?
So for my belief, I believe violence is an effective means, but at too high a cost. And for my goal, I want to steer Lorelei away from the Mouse Guard's warmongering indoctrination. And for my instinct,
Dag.
diffusing conflict is always my first priority.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so when conflict comes up, you're just like, whoa, chill, everybody. Cool. I like it. I like it. And Jasper, what are your beliefs, your belief and goal?
My belief is I believe that no task is too small for the good of my hood.
Yeah. I like that.
I'm very like anything that I do with gusto, you know?
Mm-hmm.
My goal is I want to inspire Wellmond that us old guys can still achieve our goals.
Awesome. All right, so you're going to do something to inspire Wellmond.
Yeah.
Okay. And what do you do instinctively? What's the
I'm
thing?
not sure.
You can think about circumstances that happen to your character that you might react to. So like maybe because you don't have one of these things about Lorelei yet. So maybe you instinctively deal with Tenderpaws in some way. Like what would you do instinctively if Lorelei like backtalked you or did something foolish? Like how would you react in that way?
Mm-hmm.
That's one way you can come at it.
Discipline.
Exactly. Always discipline. Sass mouth. Or like, never let a Tenderpaw get away with inappropriate behavior. Or
You should have like a megaphone, or not like a megaphone, but like a funnel thing that's not powered.
a medieval megaphone.
Yeah.
Tube.
Rolled up blade of grass.
You're just always yelling at people through it.
All right. So my belief is, as the heiress to the Bee-Bottom name, I need to look out for myself and not rely on the help of others.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
And my goal is going to be to do something on my own.
Yeah. See, that's good. Yeah, just do something on my own. That's a fine goal. So if this game was about dentists trying to like protect people's teeth, would it be mouth guard?
No.
So hold on. If it was a game where you had to protect
wait a
the
minute, wait a
person
minute.
you were married to from getting in trouble, would it be spouse guard?
Oh my god.
I'm sorry. I'll stop. Yeah.
If you were selling, fire and other disaster insurance, it could be house guard.
Could and would, my friend.
Boo.
If one of those things would protect you from getting lice, then those things you were selling would be louse guard.
Or would it protect the lice?
No, protect you from the lice. It's a louse guard.
Oh my God.
All right, write an instinct so we can move on from this silliness.
Oh my god.
No, look, it's a game about making what's the like landscaping sculpture when you like sculpt like bushes and stuff.
Like shrubbery.
Making those into the shape of mice, and it's called Mouse Garden.
Get out of here. So every time Basil protects the woodsman from getting in trouble, he's acting as a souse guard.
It's a sequel to a famous movie series starring Bruce Willis, and it's called Mouse Hard.
I prefer Mouse Hard to Mouse Harder, but yep.
God.
The new Dominion expansion, Mouse Card.
Anyway.
I like this. Lots of branding opportunities.
Yeah, seriously.
And cross branding. Everyone's favorite kind of branding.
Yeah.
So yeah, what kind of stuff does Jasper do without thinking?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I said I always feel the need to command attention.
Nice.
Oh,
So
great.
your
Like-
instinct is
so,
to
like,
command attention.
If people are like having a conversation, I feel like I need
Hey!
to. Yeah.
Eyes up here. Mouse over here talking.
Yeah.
Awesome. Brilliant. Okay, cool. So if you look, I added a handout. It's got the sample weapons on it. You can choose one of these. So your character has an axe, a bow, a halberd, a hook and line, a knife, a shield, a sling, a spear, a staff, or a sword. It has one of those things. So you'll choose one, and you can mark that on your character sheet under gear.
Okay.
They're good at different things. Like an axe is really good at attacking, but not good at defending or feinting. We'll talk about how we do conflict when we get to a part of the game, like a conflict that's big enough to use the rules. But basically, we resolve everything in single rolls until there's like a big thing that we need to do more granularly, and that's when, if it's a combat, if it's a chase, a fight animal, something like that, you might use your weapons for it. So. Yeah, axe is good at attacking. Bow is really good at keeping, like, maneuvering, keeping people at a distance. Halberd, it's pretty versatile. You can use it for a bunch of different stuff. The hook and line is also good for maneuvering, but not very good for attacking. You can see all the where it says plus D, that's how many extra dice you get for that thing. So, are you going to take a shield, Walmond?
I'm thinking about taking a staff.
That's good too. Yep.
That's really good too, yeah.
Yep. What are you going to take, Jasper?
Just a good old sword.
Yeah, sword is very useful. Yep.
I think I'm going to be a little fat mouse with a shield.
Nice. Round mouse, round shield. Cool. Okay. Right.
And that's part of my family's desire for me to not die out in the field. They like had this shield made for me, and they're like, "Come back alive, damn it!"
Aw.
So everybody starts with one fate point and one persona point. You can mark them here. They do basically the same thing that they do in Burning Wheel, but you can use. Let me just double check persona to make sure this is still true in second edition. Your persona point, I think you can use to unlock your nature and throw your nature dice at something. So let me double check. Basically, mouse nature is used predominantly for a couple of things, and as long as you're doing those things, you can use your nature in place of a skill you don't have. Here we go. Persona points can either give you an extra die, or you can add your entire nature rating to any ability or skill.
Yeah.
Which is big. But if it's within your nature and you succeed on the roll, your nature stays the same. If it's against your nature and it's successful, your nature is temporarily reduced by 1. And if you fail, your nature is temporarily reduced. So if you have nature, like for example, like Jasper, you have a nature of 4?
4.
So you can spend that persona point to get 4 extra dice on an action, but if it's not part of like mouse nature, you will tax your nature. Your nature will like weaken. If your nature is like continually reduced, it can permanently be reduced by 1. Let me find out what the 3. Let me double check here what the 3 things mouse nature are for.
It's like hiding, running away, and something else.
Yeah, escaping. Oh, there's 4 aspects. So mouse nature is about escaping, climbing, hiding, and foraging. So if you use your persona point to tap points for any of those things, doesn't matter what skill you're using, it'll be okay. You'll be safe within your nature parameters. And every animal has different nature that they can use. Cool. Okay. So the 3 of you, I think we're ready to get started. Also, when you make a test, all you have to do is mark pass or fail, and to improve, you need a number of tests. I think equal to.
Pass is equal to your current rating, and fails equal to your current rating minus 1.
There you go.
I think that's what it is.
I think that is too. Yeah. Let me double check. Advancement. So, no test for advancement. You advance. Here we go. You need it, equal to current rating, and fail equal to 1 less than its rating. There you go. So, if you have a rating of 2, you'll need 2 pass tests and 1 failed test to be able to include to add a point to your skill. And this is true of nature, will, health, and your skills. If you're going to roll a skill that you don't have, you're going to roll your nature, or you can always roll your nature, or you can roll the half the number of dice based on what the ability is based on. We'll get to that in a minute, but if it comes up that you have to roll a skill you don't have, you're going to roll your will or health instead, but then half the dice, because it's beginner's luck. But that's how you start to learn. So it works kind of like Burning Wheel, in that you just try skills you don't have yet to get new ones. Okay, so let's play Mouse Guard. So we're gonna start. We start in the GM turn. This is when I present obstacles for you as a group to overcome, and you overcome them. And then when you're making rolls, we'll talk about the different mechanisms and what kind of you need to do to gain extra dice, but a lot of it is going to be the same as Burning Wheel. So you leave Lockhaven, I think early one morning. Maybe it's still like a little bit dark. It's still quite cold. As I described before, there's snow sort of piled up. It's just been cleared. Maybe the first laborers have just finished going out into the road and clearing the area around Lockhaven of any remaining debris. The ground is cold and damp under your paws, and you have to keep your cloaks pulled around you tightly to stay warm. Dougal, who is a merchant mouse, is coming with you to help broker the deal with Lila, and he has a little wool scarf wrapped around his face, and is immediately like complaining about the weather. He's grumbling about, oh, why couldn't we have stayed inside and waited for it to get just a little warmer. I mean, one or 2 more days wouldn't have been so bad. And behind him, he's like pulling this cart of honey, and so the first stage, the first thing to do, is make your way to Sandmasons. Just begin the trip. So, finding your way from one place to another within the mouse territories is a Pathfinder roll. So, who leads the way?
I think I have that as something. I think I took that for something.
Yeah, isn't that your
Is it my specialty?
specialty?
If it is,
I think it
I
might
should probably
be.
lead the way.
Okay, all right. So, Wallman, you're gonna take up the lead.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I can help.
Okay.
I can help using Scout, I guess.
Okay. So helping in this is it works just the same. You can help with various skills that you have. They all kind of cross help in different ways. So if you're making a Pathfinder roll, Pathfinder can be helped by things like Scout, Hunter, Weather Watcher. So you want to help with your Scout?
Yeah, so I'm like running ahead and checking out various, like Waldman's like, maybe we should go this way or this way, and so I go and like check each way a little bit and check things out, make sure it's safe, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
I could help with Weather Watcher.
Okay. So what's Jasper doing then? You're not actually like keeping the path. You're like keeping an eye on the sky, looking out for
Eye
storms.
on the sky.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay. All right. So if you take a look, because we haven't rolled yet, if you go up to the little gear icon in the top and you turn on the macro quick bar, I've added a roll macro that you can add to your bar there.
Ooh.
And it'll just ask you for your total pool of dice. So let me get my little mouse friend out of the way here. Here we go. So how many dice do you have in Pathfinder?
3.
Okay, so you start with 3. You get 1 extra die from each of your friends. Okay.
Okay.
And you got two successes. Okay. So the obstacle is 2, so you're lucky. But you gotta wait for me to tell you the obstacle next time.
Sorry, I thought you were done talking. My bad.
That's totally okay. It's the roll would be the same. You rolled really well. So, like Burning Wheel, you're rolling a pool of d6s. 4 or better is a success. And despite the early part of the year and the recent snow and everything, you do manage to make your way to Sand Mason in as much time as you expected. And without running afoul of any bad weather. It does take some time. It takes a while, and you make stops in Black Rock and along the way. But but we will catch up with you again as you get closer to Sand Mason. Now, what you could do, because the reason why I would give you the obstacle first is that you can choose to invoke your traits to earn checks. So you can say, like, actually, I want to lose a die, and I want to earn a check instead. So for your traits, the way that works, let me find the exact definition. So you can use the checks against yourself during the GM's turn to gain 1 or more of these checks, and then we spend them. And it looks like, let's take a look through the PDF. I want to make sure that it's not any different than it was before. Okay. This is all about, I'm just looking at all the information here. So it's all like how to gain them. Here we go. Perfect. Okay. So if you impede yourself, I'm going to make a note. So if you impede yourself, which is to say you lose a die from whatever roll you were making, that gives you 1 check. If you call on your trait to give someone you're rolling against, that gives 2 dice to them, and you get 2 checks. And then you can break a tie in your opponent's favor, and that gets you 2 checks. So in this case, you could have said, like, if I was like, okay, you got 5 dice, it's obstacle 2, you could say, well, I'm going to invoke whatever trait, and I'm going to get a check, but I lose a die.
Okay.
Okay. So Wallman, you lead the patrol out into the cold morning and through the Mouse territories headed east. After, I'd say probably a week or so of travel, you get closer and closer to the coast, and the weather gets warmer slowly over time, but also like wetter. As the snow melts, there's several places where you have to like stop and make your way around like a flooded area of the road. And when you reach Sand Mason, I think you get to the outskirts of town, and there isn't really any sign of like anyone around. Like it seems like quite quiet, despite the fact that you're enough into spring that everyone should be like out of kind of hibernation and out doing things. What do you want to do?
I don't know. Shall
So
we go? Oh, go ahead.
I'm just clarifying that it's pretty obvious that no one's around, like, and that's like kind of weird.
Yeah, at a glance, you can't. Yeah, you can't see any mice anywhere, and it seems unusually quiet. It's like midday, and there's nobody around.
Okay, I'm just like, perhaps everyone's at the apiary.
Yeah, I mean, it could be. I suppose it is a cold day for some honey. Young Dougal, why don't you stay right behind me?
Dougal
Or
looks
the
like he looks pretty spooked. Like he's looking around and he just like kind of nods, and he whispers to Lorelei, where is everybody?
I don't know. Sand Mason, it's full of lazy people. I'm sure they just aren't out of hibernation yet.
I'm sure it's nothing to worry about. Let's carry on.
Maybe they're scared of the snow like you, Dougal. And then I start walking off.
Dougal's like, I'm not. He says it really loud. He's like, I'm not scared. And he like he looks around at the other mice. I guess at Jasper. He's like, I'm not
It's
scared.
all right, young Dougal. Let's just continue. All right, so are we supposed to go get the... We're getting the jars.
Yeah,
and
you've
then
got the honey, and you're gonna
to
go
the
and give it to Lila. In exchange, you're gonna make a deal with Lila.
And you guys have me carrying the honey, right?
It's in like a
Most
wagon.
likely. You're
Or
probably
dragging the
pulling
cart
it.
with the honey in it?
Yeah.
Okay. Just gonna add that to my list of gear. So yeah, I'm just like sick of standing around and I'm pushing this cart towards the town. Or pulling
Yeah.
it, whatever.
Okay.
I guess I just start striding off
Okay.
to wherever we would find Lila.
Sure. Yeah, so you head more into Sand Mason proper, and what was sort of unusual before becomes like downright eerie as you get into town. Like there are, you notice to the side there's like a little mouse like house, and the door is just like open and just sort of like swinging in the breeze. None of the houses have like smoke coming from the chimneys. And it's cold, so, people would be heating their houses.
I'm like, oh dear. All right. Well, keep your wits about you. Let's see if we can find Lila.
Can I like use Scout to see what's going on here?
Yeah. You want to, like, look for hidden things?
Yeah, I'm gonna see if like
Okay.
something is afoot.
All right. How many dice do you have for Scout?
2.
Excellent. Okay. So to scout out the town of Sand Mason in search of what's wrong, you can... you're going to have to roll an OB3 scout test. So you need some help.
Fuck that.
Well, I mean, you only have 2 dice, so...
Will Pathfinder help him here?
No, not in this case. For Scout, you could maybe help with, if you have an appropriate wise, like hiding wise. But actually, no, you know what? I'm wrong. Pathfinder will help. You can help with Pathfinder or Hunter.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, yeah, I'd like to help with Pathfinder.
Okay.
I'm just like, why don't I take a look at the roads and see where the footprints have led throughout town? I'm sure there's a main thoroughfare.
Yeah, looking for tracks. That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, and so like
Now, part of the contract of help is that you have to accept help. So
yeah, so Lorelai puts down the cart, right? And the whole prompting for this is she's like, I'm gonna go have a look around. And then Walmond is like, well, I could help in this way. And I just kind of like I'm noticeably like disappointed. I'm like, yes, fine, fine. And I'm like already kind of looking around, scanning for like threats or problems.
okay.
Very good. Use your teamwork.
Oh, you're just telling them what to do but not helping.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you're gonna need to make an obstacle 3 scout test.
Yeah, with my 3 dice.
Mm-hmm.
How old are you, Jess?
I am 52, which I think is pretty freaking old for a mouse.
And sorry, how am I rolling for this
Oh,
thing?
I made a little macro. So if you go up to the gear, you should see there's a
Okay,
checkbox
there we
for
go.
show macro quick bar and then in
Yeah.
bar. If you click that, there's a little macro
Great.
called roll. And it'll ask you
Okay,
how many
I'm
dice.
rolling 3 dice unless I bring in one of my traits.
Yeah.
Um,
And if
Well,
you
maybe
think
if I draw-
if you think you're gonna fail, you can just you can just earn a check by throwing it with one of your traits.
yeah, maybe that's the right call. So I think impetuous, one of either impetuous or independent. Is
Well,
gonna
it's not. You're getting help, so you're not being independent. But how are you impetuous, and how does your impetuousness screw this
because
up
like
for
I'm
you?
going along with being help, like with getting the help, but I'm just like, fine, I guess, and like I'm kind of taking charge when I shouldn't.
Hmm.
I guess like I'm not really the most capable for the job, but I'm still like trying to lead the way.
Hmm. Okay.
So I think it's just like I'm just too inexperienced to actually be pulling something like this.
Okay.
But I think I can do it.
Sure.
So I give myself -1 die.
Yep. So mark a check on your character sheet, and now there's no way you could do this, unless you spent your fate point, I guess. But go ahead and roll your 2 dice against ob 3. Okay. No. All right.
Yeah.
So when you fail a roll in this game, I have one of 2 choices. I can either give you what you wanted, so you can have the thing you're trying to get, and also take a condition. So in in a lot of more like traditional role playing games, the characters have hit points, right? So you have like I have 100 hit points, now I have 40 hit points, now I have 10, now I'm dead. But in this game, the mice take conditions instead. So I could say, okay, yes, you search the whole town, you find what you want, but now you're hungry and thirsty, right? Or hungry or thirsty. Or I could say you're injured or you're tired or whatever. Or I can do what I'm going to do, and I can introduce a twist, which is things go off in a direction that maybe you might not want them to go, and there's a different thing that you need to deal with. So I think that So Lorelai goes off, scampers off on her own, looking for clues. While Wallman, you get sort of caught up in the details of like, where did the mice go? And you're like looking for tracks and kind of, cautiously and carefully examining the situation. Jasper, you lose track of Lorelai, and Lorelai, you are you're like in kind of like I guess there's no alleys because it's not a city, but you're like around the back of a house, and you notice there's like a yard, and the gate is open, and in the back of the yard, there's like a long, glossy black feather that you notice glistening in the spring sunlight. And then suddenly it's not glistening in the sunlight because there's a great dark shadow overhead. And so you hear, I guess everyone in the town hears the sudden raucous cawing of crows as a pair of large black birds descend down towards Lorelai. As a group, you can choose how to respond. You can run and hide. You can try to drive them off. But these crows are like, "Hey, what's going on? There's stuff happening. I'm gonna come and poke around."
Jasper grabs Dougal and throws him into the house we're next to with the open door. He just kind of goes, "Oh, Dougal,
Get in the house, Dougal."
go over here."
Okay.
And maybe looking after like the honey cart as well.
Yeah, because you left it, right?
Yeah, because I just put it down to go.
Yeah.
around.
Yeah. So,
So like
Yeah,
our
oh, go ahead.
response here could be to like make sure that the crows don't get like the honey and like we
Yeah.
could be, like very mission oriented
It's true.
in what we're trying to do, or it can just be like just go hide, at which point we might like be giving up, you know, some of what's important here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to deal with the crows one way or another. So
as soon as I notice them, since I'm both inquisitive and stoic, I think I calmly sort of gather myself and walk back towards where we all split off from, to try to find everyone and investigate what's happening.
okay. All right. Yeah, you can definitely see these two like crows kind of like one of them I think lands on top of the house that Lorelei is behind, and the other one is sort of like doing like lazy circles in the air still, and the crow is like looking down and like it's gonna probably like move to get Lorelei in some way, maybe pick her up or.
So she's still behind the house. She hasn't.
Yeah, she's like out of sight from you.
So then, yeah, what do we want to accomplish? Do we want to like try to drive the crows away, or just like get everyone to safety?
Well, do we know how many there are?
There are two.
Are we all together now?
No,
I'm still
you're
separated.
kind of separated out.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I
I mean, I guess I feel like this is sort of like Jasper's call to make, because Jasper, your tender paw is in danger.
Yeah, I think the main goal, the first goal would be to get everyone back together. So Jasper is just sort of yelling for the other two to come back to where we started, where we split up.
Okay. So you want to basically just like rush everybody to safety?
Well, not necessarily, because I just forgot his name again.
Dougal?
Dougal with the honey cart
Mm-hmm.
is tucked into that house. So I want to try to scare off these crows with the other two.
Okay. All right. So it's like protect the cart and scare. So are you gonna like run to Lorelei's aid?
Well, I'm calling for her. I'm not running to her yet, but I am calling for her to like come back and join the group to fight.
Okay. All right.
So maybe the first test that we do here is me running away from the crows.
Yeah, I think so. I think
Or,
it's
like,
going to be
eluding
just
this one
you.
that's trying to get
Yeah,
them.
you on your own, just trying to like get out of this bad situation, and then we can go right into trying to drive off the crows.
Okay, so I can roll nature to run away.
Yes, yeah. If you want to use that, you are welcome to do so.
I feel like it's the most appropriate skill that I have.
Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna roll for. Let me just check what crow nature is.
Oh God.
Crows. Here we go. It's jet black scavenger birds. Yeah, crow nature, and they have their nature is mischief making, scavenging, stealing, and flying. So I'll roll their nature, and you roll yours. We'll see how it goes.
And sorry, so if I want to use fate, that can add a die to any roll?
Persona can add one die.
Okay, right.
Fate lets you reroll sixes, same as it
Right,
does.
of course.
Yeah.
Herp, derp, derp. Okay.
Ready?
Yeah, I will roll
Okay.
my. And so now is also a good time for me to like bring in any traits. that I
Yes,
have.
if you want to get extra dice from a trait or something.
How many dice are the crows rolling?
I don't actually have to tell you, but I'll be nice. They have 7.
Yeah, so I think
The crow that's going to try and get you has 7. It would be 8 if they were both after you, because one would help the other.
Yeah, I'm trying to like hustle over, but I'm fat. I'm
Yeah.
too slow. Like I just like get
So
all huffy
you're
and
just
like
gonna
Yeah.
you want to take another check because you're
yeah.
okay. All right. So I think that we
I'll roll three
see,
dice.
yeah, we see you. We see Lorelai come like like around the corner as Jasper is like, come on, like yelling for you to run. Okay, so go ahead and roll your dice. How many do you have
Let's see
now?
if she can make it. I'm rolling three dice.
Oh, okay.
One success.
I only beat you by one. All right, so I'll give it to you. I'll let you have it. But I think that you're gonna take a condition. You do get away.
Yeah,
But let's say you are. I always forget that Mouse Guard has less. I was gonna give you afraid, but I'm like, nope, that's Torchbearer.
doesn't exist. Yeah.
Um, let's give you. Let's just say hungry, thirsty. We'll start slow.
Yep.
So you're like out of breath. Your stomach is grumbling, and your mouth is dry both from terror and from dehydration. And this crow, yeah, like kind of like hop flies after you. Like it's not. It's like toying with you. It's like hopping
Yeah, it's
after
kind
you
of
and
like
kind of like flapping its feathers.
half-heartedly.
Yeah, and it's like laughing. Like it's like chuckling and like making like the creepy like crow like throat rattling laugh noise.
And yeah, so like Lorelai like hustles over and like bursts through the door of this house that everyone's holed up in, and I'm like taking these big heaving breaths and like I'm kind of crying and kind of choking it down.
Now don't forget to mark your failed test on
Oh
the
yeah,
nature roll.
for nature, right?
Yep.
I didn't mark my first test either, so I better do that too.
Yeah. So it's like hopping after you and like flapping its wings and like kind of like puffing itself up. And the other crow, I think, like starts to like wind down to come and see what its like brother is making noise about. So you want to organize the driving off of these crows, Jasper?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Um,
Well, we'll do that as a conflict. So because it's
okay.
going to be a bigger deal getting into a fight with these crows.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So
Damn.
let's give ourselves, rather than start it now and only have a few minutes. Let's take a break here and we'll come back and I'll show you
All
how
right.
to do a conflict because they're fun.
Okay.
So crow times after this. Stick
Oh man.
around.